Hello? Are you guys able to hear me? Okay, good. I wanted to make sure. I was a little concerned because I couldn't tell whether or not this stuff is my sound is going on. There's a little indicator on my screen and it tells me how loud I'm getting, and it wasn't moving, so I couldn't tell. Alright. So I'm guessing from you seeing the title of this video, I'm guessing I don't know what I'm saying, honestly. I just felt like doing this little live stream and saying what's been going on in my head and by myself, what's been going on with me since September, I guess. Just need a second. I'm gonna try to multitask here because I got some stuff I need to get done on the computer as well as trying to do this video. So I'm gonna try my best to get this done as I am talking. Alright. Video, now I can see chat. Alright, so lately in life, since September, my life has gotten good and went semi downhill for a while. And it all started when I got my concussion. If, for those of you that don't know, I played football for the local high school for about 4 years, and in September, I got a very nasty concussion. Like, I was bedridden for about, I'd say, a week, I'd say. It was rough. I've had concussions in the past, but this one was by far my worst. And then later on that night, come to find out, I had a TBI. I received a TBI, and I believe that stands for traumatic brain injury. I could be wrong, but I believe that's what it stands for. And this, since I'm a senior, this would have been my last year playing for school. And oh, it does. Okay, good. So my season was cut. My last season was cut pretty early, and it was my first year being in a starting position in football. After 3 years, I had my first starting position going, and I ended up having to go play for offense and defensive line. One second. So, yeah, concussion. Had that going for me. And then I wasn't able to play, and with how bad my concussion was and the TBI, I didn't want to try out for any other sports once I was cleared from my concussion. So I did. It was hard having to deal with that because I loved playing football. In fact, most of my most fond memories came from football and the teammates that I had. It was rough having to deal with that. And having a lot of people at first didn't believe me when I said that I had a concussion because I've had a concussion the past 4 years when I played. I got one at the beginning of each season, but most of them were just minor concussions. And a lot of people didn't believe me because I would show up at practice and stand on the sidelines and I would seem perfectly fine, but I wasn't. So I ended up becoming the butt end of a joke for a lot when it came to concussions. And thanks to karma, a lot of the guys that picked on me for having the concussions got concussions. And they stayed out for a good long while. They went back to playing, much like I did, past 3 years. But this concussion really opened up my eyes to show me how many people, how many people exactly cared so much about me. Because before I knew that people cared about me and stuff like that, but I didn't realize exactly how many people cared about me and my well being. Of course, there we go. I mean, I had people that I very rarely talked to, I had people I had just met. So many people come to me and see if I was okay. And hello. And I'm 17, but anyways, back to the story, I guess. Um, I can't see your face, so I can't answer that. Not to mention, your name does not ring a bell. Good luck with that. Anyway, speaking of not remembering, I had bad memory before, but my memory is the equivalent of a goldfish. Yeah, I'm not really gonna give you my email because one, I don't know you. Two, why? There's really no point at this point in my life. There's no point. I've tried online dating before, it didn't end well. Nor do long distance relationships. Very rarely do they happen, or do they ever work. Anyways, back to what I was saying. My memory is the equivalent of goldfish. I have forgotten many people in the past. I mean, since September, I have forgotten many people. And I feel so bad when this happens. I'll go to someone, or I'll just go out in public, and someone will say hey to me, and then I think, and I carry on saying hey and stuff. But then in my head, I'm like, who is this person? And I mean, completely forget someone. Facial recognition, everything. And then having to tell them that I forgot who they were or didn't recognize them. It's just hard. Yeah, hopefully, but sadly, that, that's not. From what I'm told, the memory does not get better. But on brighter news, actually, no, not really. Um, I have had since the concussion. I had to go back to schooling, like always, and then I had basically forgotten how to do math entirely. I was doing basic math addition for about a week, and I just recently started getting into basic algebra. So I have that going for me. But in brighter news, I got accepted to Johnson and Wales University with a, I think, hold on, let me check. I got accepted to Johnson and Wales University with a $16,000 uh, academic, academic, God darn, academic scholarship. $16,000 academic scholarship per year. And recently I've been realizing I'm getting older. I hate time and how it keeps going forward. Then I think to myself, I don't want to grow up yet. I mean, I don't really have much of a choice in the matter, and I'm gonna end up growing up anyway. And I'm not gonna fight with growing up. I'm not gonna be immature in my adult life. I'm gonna be living normal life, but I'm not. I don't want to grow up. I mean, it's not like my childhood was ruined by me having to mature quickly. I was able to have a pretty decent childhood, but I don't want to grow up yet. And at my youth group, me being a senior, I'm realizing I'm the last of a dying breed, I guess you could say. Because while I was, for the past year now, I've been the oldest by a long shot of everyone in said youth group. Right now, they're the oldest. There's one sophomore, and the rest of them are in eighth grade or freshmen. And I'm the only upperclassman, and everyone else is like 14, 15. And then here am I, 17 years old, about to graduate high school. And then the last one left of all the people that I used to go to youth group with, everyone else graduated or moved that was originally there when I was a freshman or eighth grade. And that's been really clicking with me lately. And some of the kids at youth group I've been throwing out there and talking about college, and a lot of them didn't realize that I was a senior and I'd be graduating this year. And most of them were very shocked when I told them that I got accepted to colleges and graduating this year and all that stuff. And some of them got a little emotional and really touched me. Like some of them were asking, "You are going to visit us, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just going to be up the road." And I had so many of the kids come up to me and make sure when I was leaving and seeing if they would get a phone before I left to keep in contact with me. And in my head, I'm like, wow, I must have done something right for these kids to want to keep in contact with me after I graduate or something. Because to my knowledge, I've done nothing but just live life and just be energetic around them. As far as I'm aware, I did done nothing. What's the word I'm looking for? Impacting, I guess. I haven't left that big of an impact, to my knowledge, to anyone. And so, yeah, that's been the past 2 weeks. And then there's the love life, I guess, or lack thereof. During at homecoming, um, I was in like October, I think. Anyways, I the entire time I was hanging out with some of my buddies, and I noticed this girl that was following me around the building, and finally I sat down for a long time, and then we started talking for a little while, and then we found out that we have a lot of things we're interested in that are matched or we have in common, and then we talk about going on a date the next day, and then something comes up unexpected, and then date has to be rescheduled. That's that's completely fine for a date to be rescheduled. And then it happened again and again and again, and this pattern kept going and continued for 2 months. 2 months. The worst part was she would not talk to me, rarely ever. The most we've talked since homecoming was at most 5 sentences, and that wasn't in total with both of us. I mean, that was it with total of both of us. That wasn't 5 sentences each. It was just 5 sentences in total in a conversation. And now we've just stopped talking completely. I've tried messaging her before, and no response. I don't even know if she looks at my messages. And one thing I have, it's a pet peeve of mine with girls nowadays, my age. They don't give out phone numbers anymore. They give out Snapchat or Instagram or Facebook, stuff like that, as a mode of communication. What ticks me off the most about that is you don't get on social media that often. You can't use these as a mode of communication. That's why phone numbers exist. That way it's because it's a faster method of communication. And it just ticks me off seeing how many girls do this. And then one thing that I realized, and I keep trying to tell everyone, you can't have a good relationship with someone without communication or little communication. If you don't talk to someone for a certain period of time, you'll lose that connection. It's like electricity. If you get one wire and charge it, connect it to a battery, and you have like 2 or 3 inches, the end of that wire is going to have a strong current. And the longer that um, wire is, the less current you're going to get or electricity you're going to get at the end of that wire. So every now and then, you have to wrap it around another battery or another method to uh, charge the power coming through that wire. That way, that power connects or keeps going throughout the wire. It's, and those little parts in the wire that charges the electricity going through the wire, that's your conversations, that's your communication, those are your connections. And without that, that power at the beginning, it's not going to reach the end. It's not going to be as powerful at the end, or it'll just completely fade away. And I keep telling people this multiple times, but very little people listen. I've given out wisdom before to people younger than I am. Hopefully, that might help and advice actually sticks in their head and they don't completely forget it. Because advice, random advice, sometimes doesn't help you out at the moment, but sometimes it helps you out in the future. I need to get back to the paper. All right. So, yeah. And the worst part was, I had met another girl that night as well that asked me out after this girl and I had made plans for the next day. And for all I know, it could have ended the same way as this girl. But there's no telling. Hopefully, once I get to college, it doesn't get so hard. We can actually, I can actually communicate with people, not relying on a cellular device. Because I rarely use this thing to talk to people. If anything, I do it. I use it to check on social media, see how the world is burning, and see. Because I don't look at the news. I don't check to see how politics are, and if I and I never know who dies or what tragedy happens. And if one happens, the only way I find out is seeing a flag at half mast, and then I'm sitting there thinking, who died this time? I mean, I know it's a bad way to look at it, but it's a legit question. And that's pretty much how I am with tragedies and shootings now. Is who died this time and what does the media say caused it this time? Because I do mourn for, I do feel bad for those who lose loved ones in these shootings and terrorist attacks and everything else going on in the world. I do feel bad for them, and I do have feelings about them, but honestly, I don't feel much for it. I mean, it's just another method for the news to get money because the news does not give you the full story. They give you what sells. And I've checked this multiple times. It's not like I'm going off my opinion. I've gotten facts. I've gotten facts about this and saying they alter stories to make them sell a lot better. Say, oh, this cat got ran over by a bike. The media will stretch that story until it ends up being a rich person's cat, beloved cat, got ran over by a semi truck, and semi truck destroyed three houses trying to avoid the cat. I may be exaggerating that a bit, could not. I don't know. That's just the way I see the news and the media. That's why I stick to newspapers, because they tell what's happening locally and anything that is extremely crucial to know and that affects our community. Not to mention, there's funny stuff in the newspaper that will cheer me up whenever I read something sad or depressing in the newspaper. There's funny stuff to make me feel better. With just watching the news, there is no comedy. And I've had people come to me in the past asking, what are my political views? Basically, I don't care who's in office, as long as they don't screw up the economy any more than it is, or they don't affect my life and make it worse. That's basically the only thing I'm looking for. I really could care less. And people keep telling me I have to eventually choose a political party, Republican or Democrat, and I keep telling them I'm not going to choose either one. I'm going for neutral. I'm going to pick whoever I I feel like would be better. I'm not going to be biased based on my political like. And I know I am cutting deep and starting a whole outbreak, but I don't really care at this point. I mean, I'm not depressed or anything or suicidal. I'm just got a lot of stuff on my mind and I want to get it out. So, yeah. And I know I made this video titled A Little Update, and it has turned into a political statement and basically me letting out who I am, I guess you could say. But in other news, Christmas is right around the corner. Excited for that, I guess. One thing I've been really realizing it is I've felt very meh. I guess you. That's the only way I could describe it. That's great that this holiday is coming up, but I guess people ask me what I want for Christmas or what I want for a gift, and I just say, I don't really want anything. If I don't get anything, great. If I get something, I'll be extremely grateful. But I don't want a specific thing. That's why I just go looking around Amazon. If I see anything of interest, put it on a list and forget about it. And once it comes close to a holiday, I throw the link out there, and if I get any stuff off of that list, I will be extremely grateful. If I don't get anything on off that list, I'll be grateful for what I get. I mean, there's no reason for me to get upset over something I don't get. And I see spoiled brats or spoiled kids running around saying, "Oh, I got the newest iPhone and I don't really know what to do with my old iPhone. So I'm just going to have two iPhones." And I'm like, what's the point of getting a new phone, a brand new phone, when it's going to be full of glitches? It's going to be constant updating. And it's just pointless when you have a phone that works perfectly. It's cheaper to repair a phone than buying a brand new phone that's going to glitch out. Because chances are that brand new phone is going to have some malfunction or glitch and it's not going to work properly and it's just going to be full of messed up stuff. Okay. I've come up to the conclusion that I'm not going to be able to work on this paper, so I'm just going to write stuff down. I'm going to try to do other methods, questions, equations, I guess. Right. I've officially run out of things to talk about. Any questions? I'm more than willing to answer any questions you guys have. Oh, please tell me that wasn't who was talking. Am I looking forward to college? Yes and no. I'm a little nervous because I haven't been in a actual classroom setting in 7 years, I think. 6 or 7 years. So I'm a little nervous to be in a classroom setting. It's going to be a huge culture shock, definitely. But I'm definitely looking forward to being in college because I'll be able to communicate a lot better. I'll be seeing people every day. I'll be able to see what how it is, how the lifestyle is of being at school again. Because before I was homeschooled during public school, I was a very social butterfly. Um, yeah, I think the classes will be pretty small. I think there's like only 14 people in each class. Very small classrooms. I love. We did a tour there, and the classrooms are really small. But it is definitely something I'd be interested in, and it has so many. It's a very hands-on based school, which is very which is what I need in a school. And the great part is, there's 4 campuses that I can go to. I just have to stay at the one in Miami for a year, and then I can go to one of the other 3 campuses across the United States. There's one in Hampshire, I think. I can't remember where the campuses are. Let me just check real quick. All right. All right. There is one in Denver, Colorado, one in Charlotte, North Carolina, Miami, and one last one. Um, where is it? New England. All right, so it's in New England. So yeah, I could go to one of those 3 campuses if I wanted to. But honestly, at the beginning, I was thinking, hey, that'd be pretty cool. Then I thought, if I don't like the area, I'd be stuck there for a year. So I feel like it would just be better for me to just travel to these locations rather be stuck there for a year. Plus, me and my mother did the math with all the scholarships I've done and financial aid that I got. I'd be able to go to this college for free, and I would make like $500 a month just by going to this school. Plus, it fits everything I need in a school, and so much. I just love the school. Not to mention, it's a culinary school, so there's gonna be some good food there. And who knows? I may take up culinary because I enjoy cooking. I enjoy eating food a lot more, but I like cooking. It's fun. But I'm going there to for entrepreneurship. I want to learn something that will help me out with my business that I have now, my essential oils business. Oh, speaking of business, I've been unemployed since September thanks to my concussion. So that's been great. And this time of year, it's pretty hard because I can't get people anything for Christmas because I don't have any money to give people or to buy gifts with. So Yeah, but back to the colleges thing. I am excited for college, and where am I going with this? Yeah, I hope they do understand. Any other questions? Take your time. When will I be getting my driver's license? Hopefully soon. I will be able to get it in January. I think it's like January 14th, I think. That's when I'm eligible to get my license. But I'm going to have to do some studying and perfect my driving skills. I'm decent at driving. At nighttime, I can drive amazingly. During the day, it's a little bit trickier. But hopefully, I'll be able to get my license in January, and I will finally stop having to rely on people to get to be mobile. Another peeve of mine is I can't stand being a parasite or relying on others to get stuff done. I prefer to get stuff done myself. I mean, yeah, I'll ask for help every now and then if I need it, and I won't be stubborn and refuse help, but I prefer to do things by myself, especially with being mobile, getting from point A to point B, because I can't stand being late. My eyes are killing me. Must be a storm moving through or something. All right, I think I'm about done. Unless you guys have any more questions, I think I'm pretty done. I've gotten everything I wanted to get out. Yeah, I wish I could rest, but I have work to do. Not to mention, I have youth group tonight, and that's at 6. I gotta get the paper done and some questions done before I go. All right. Well, I might do another video like this later on, but for now, I think I'm pretty. I think I'm done for now. I'm almost done with it. I just have some paragraphs left to finish up. But yeah, finished with this one. Yeah. hopefully I get this paper done relatively soon. That way I can focus on getting some questions written down or finished. All right. I haven't done an outro in so long, so I think I'm just gonna press the big red button that says end stream until I can, and then later on I'll try to figure out what I'm gonna do for a outro. I guess be a little bit more professional. I guess. All right. Toodles.